भवान् दुहितृ स्नेहं स भवान् दुहितृ स्नेहं परिक्लिष्ट आत्मनः मम परिक्लिष्टात्मनो मम श्रोतुम् अर्हसि दीनस्य श्रोतुम् अर्हसि दीनस्य श्रावितं कृपया मुने श्रावितं कृपया मुने स भवान् दुहितृ स्नेहा परिक्लिष्टात्मनो मम श्रोतुम् अर्हसि दीनस्य श्रावितं कृपया मुने. भवान् स्नेहं परिक्लिष्टात्मनो मम श्रोतुम् अर्हसि सः yourself Bhavan your honor Duhitru Sneha by affection for my daughter Pariklishtatmanaha whose mind is agitated Mama my Shrotum to listen Arhasi be pleased Deenasya of my humble self Shavitam to the prayer Krupaya graciously Mune O sage. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O great sage, graciously be pleased to listen to the prayer of my humble self, for my mind is troubled by affection for my daughter. Please repeat. O great sage, graciously be pleased to listen to the prayer of my humble self, for my mind is troubled by affection for my daughter. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When a disciple is so perfectly in consonance with the spiritual master, having received his message and executed it perfectly and sincerely, he has a right to ask a particular favor from the spiritual master. Generally, a pure devotee of the Lord or a pure disciple of a bona fide spiritual master does not ask any favor either from the Lord or the spiritual master. But even if there is a need to ask a favor from the spiritual master, one cannot ask that favor without satisfying him fully. Swayambhu Manu wanted to disclose his mind regarding the function he wanted to execute due to affection for his daughter. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Purporto Madhyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now Kadama, the Swayambhu Manu is about to explain why he came to Kardama Muni. Here he is requesting the great sage to graciously be pleased to listen to him. Shrotum arhasi dinasya. His prayer to his humble self, Shravitum Krupaya Mune, graciously be pleased to listen to the prayer of my humble self. Why? Because Duhutru Sneha Pariklishtatmana, because of affection for my daughter, my mind is disturbed, my mind is troubled, Pariklishta. Mind is agitated, so kindly listen to my prayer. So now he is wanting to express the purpose for which he has approached Kardama Muni. So he is feeling that he is actually Dinasya Shravitum. He is a and then Pariklistatmano Mama, disturbed by the affection. Anybody who gets disturbed by affection for this world, then he becomes a Dinasya, a poor soul. The soul is a very exalted personality, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. But in this world, because of lack of spiritual understanding, the soul becomes like a beggar, struggling simply to maintain itself, not knowing that Krishna is the maintainer, and simply struggling to protect itself, not knowing that Krishna is the supreme protector. So, because of that feeling of disconnection with the Supreme Lord, the soul becomes very poor. The poverty is not of money. The poverty is not because of lack of wealth. The poverty is because of the lack of connection to Krishna. Instead of thinking Krishna as the maintainer, as the protector, it thinks itself to be, I have to maintain myself, I have to protect myself, and that there is a constant struggle for all such activities. This is the situation of the soul. So that's why they are, these kind of living entities, the human beings of such mentality, they may have even big wealth also. They may be billionaires, they may be whatever, but still they are considered poverty-stricken because of lack of spiritual connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Manu is taking himself into that kind of a position, and he is considering himself to be Dhinasya, Shrotum Arhasi Dhinasya, and then so he is requesting the sage, please kindly listen to my prayer. So this is the proper etiquette of presenting to a great exalted devotee like Kardama Muni. This is the proper etiquette. One has to present himself as a fool or a rascal. In front of the spiritual master, one should not pose himself as a very learned person. In fact, that is offensive. If somebody wants to show off his learning and his pride of knowing some things in front of the spiritual master, actually he has to go to hell. That is the scenario. That's why it's an instruction that when we approach a spiritual master, we should go as most dhinasya, very humbly, unqualified person, and I am a fool. With that kind of a mood, we have to approach the spiritual master. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was questioned, "You are a sannyasi, but why are you dancing and chanting? Why don't you read Vedanta?" Then he said, "I approached my spiritual master and he told me that you are a fool or a rascal, so don't study any Vedanta, simply chant Hare Krishna." See, Mahaprabhu is setting that example, how one should approach the spiritual master. Once there was a kind of a memory of one disciple. It is, I think, some second initiation. He is taking second initiation from Srila Prabhupada. So, the many candidates are there, one by one they are going to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is teaching them that Gayatri mantra. So this devotee was thinking, okay, now I am going to get a chance to meet Srila Prabhupada. So I will ask one very, very nice question. Prabhupada should be kind of surprised, or he should be very happy by this question. So he is thinking of some complex or complex questions that can be asked from Prabhupada. And then all the devotees, they are going and coming outside. So then I think he is a kind of a last person to meet Srila Prabhupada. So he goes inside, he pays his obeisances and he looks at Srila Prabhupada. Suddenly his mind becomes blank. He is struggling to recollect, because Prabhupada's his presence is so overwhelmingly powerful that his pride is smashed. In his presence he is not able to, in fact he could not able to ask anything. He is trying to say something but he could not say anything. Meanwhile Prabhupada is asking him to chant those mantras. That also he does some mistakes. And then Prabhupada says, Prabhupada is very tolerant, he teaches him and then sends him off. He was surprised. Actually he is an intelligent devotee, but then his intention is to show off his learning, his depth in his knowledge. So he goes to Srila Prabhupada. And then later on in the class, Prabhupada happens to say that yes, one should not try to show off because he will go to hell. Then after taking second initiation, he goes to the Ganges nearby and then he does his first Gayatri. After doing the Gayatri, somehow he felt that Krishna saved me today. Because I went with the intention to show off myself, but then I could not remember anything. So Krishna has actually blanked me, because remembrance is in the hands of Paramatma. He gives the remembrance. So on that day he could not remember, fortunately, because otherwise he must be punished for his pride display in front of the spiritual master. So here we can see Swayambhu Manu, he is appropriate disciple or appropriate devotee, and then he is submitting himself, and he is saying, I am Shotama Rahasi Dinasya. So I am a Dina, I am a fallen person. Please listen to my prayer. And then he is already hinting why he has become Dina. He is saying, Duhutru Sneha, affection for my daughter. So this is the scenario. Everybody is attached. They are all attached either to daughter or to the son or to the money, to the work, to his profession, whatever. There are many attachments. Once I was kind of talking to one person, a professional. He is about 72 or 74, very healthy, and then very active, enthusiastic. And while discussing, I asked him, where are you staying? So he told, I am staying some house nearby. I said, okay, what happened to your family? He said, no, I am not living with my family. Or rather, my family is not living with me. I said, okay, what happened? Now this person is so much attached to his professional life that he has no time for his family or his friends or whatever. So nobody wants to live with him. So that's how he got deserted. Nobody is living with him, and then he is going on in his life like that. So people are attached in various ways. Even the slightest attachment to anything of this world means that he will remain here. He may be detached from 99.99999, all those items, all those things is detached. 0.00001, some attachment is there somewhere. Still he has to come back. Once Prabhupada says this, unless you are 100% purified of all your attachment to this material world, there is no question of liberation. 100% pure. So Prabhupada is on a big Vyasasana, on a little elevated platform. And then after making that statement, he looked at all the devotees. Everybody is crestfallen, 100% purified, 100% free from all attachments. Everybody is dull. Then Prabhupada, looking at them, he said, okay, 90%. Prabhupada has given some additional blessing. And then still devotees are not lifting their heads. And Prabhupada said, okay, 80. They were still waiting for more mercy. Then Prabhupada says, okay, 70, and then he gets down and he goes inside his room. Then one devotee is following him into the room and he says, Prabhupada, even 70% is very difficult for me. Jai Radha Govinda. And Prabhupada says, simply hold my dhoti. I'll take you back to Godhead. Actually, to reduce this affection for this world, there are so many gradual elevation programs defined in Vedas, defined by various masters and gurus. All are meant to somehow manage this affection in such a way that at the end he can get liberated. So there are some gradual methods. In the Vedas, there is a karma kanda. Because of the affection, strong affection for sense enjoyment, this portion of the Vedas, they describe the pleasures of heavenly planets so colorfully, so nicely, that the people who are very much attached to such enjoyment, they get fascinated by these texts. And then he comes to know, oh, in the heavenly planets there will be beautiful gardens, there will be a beverage which you can drink 24/7 without any ill effects. Here if you drink like that, you will be finished. There, without such any effects, you can go on drinking, and then you can enjoy with many virgin girls, and you can have a very happy life. All these things becomes very attractive to his mind. And then in the end the text will say, now you worship Indra. Now you have to worship this moon, Chandra, or you have to worship this. It gives a recommendation to do some Vedic sacrifices and offer the oblations to a demigod. So fascinated by these descriptions, he becomes very attached to these rituals. So they are called Karmakandiya people. They are highly into rituals, Vedic rituals. They do this, they do that. Very systematically they will be doing all these things, because in their heart they are always desiring how I can go to these kind of heavenly pleasures. And after living like that for many lives, because after going to heavenly planets, there also they can live only for 100 years. So they go through all this, whatever that enjoyment is, and then again they'll come back here. Then after moving up and down like that for few lives, slowly some intelligence will come into his head that what am I doing? Simply running behind some pleasure, up and down like that. These pleasures are all false. This world itself is false. And slowly he gets attracted to this Jnana Kanda. Jnana, which teaches renunciation. He becomes very, he wants to renounce this world. Till then he is actually trying to enjoy to his best capacity. Suddenly he gets attracted to Vedic portions where renunciation is highlighted. They are actually Upanishads. So that means in the same Vedas, apparently contradictory things will be there. In some portions, if you see, they're promoting enjoyment and future enjoyment and all kinds of rituals and this and that. But you will see some texts are encouraging renunciation. Actually, they're all meant for higher, different levels of people. And once he gets into this Jnana Kanda, then there is the next one, that is Upasana Kanda. There also there is a gradual elevation. And finally they reach Vishnu worship. This is the kind of path, Vedic paths are there. And so these paths can take a long time, millions of years, thousands of lifetimes it can take before somebody can reach to that position of worshipping Vishnu. And even if he starts approaching Vishnu, worshipping without any desire, material desire, that is not something possible. Here Prabhupada is saying, one should not approach a spiritual master, one should not approach God for asking some material benefits. But even if they approach like that, gradually he will get elevated, and then by the mercy of a spiritual master like Prabhupada, he will learn what is pure devotional service. So getting that seed of pure devotional service An understanding of pure devotional service, some methods, some tools to practice such pure devotional service is not ordinary. This Bhaktilata Bija, the Bija means what? All this. Those, that understanding of pure devotional service, the methodologies, the norms, and the rules and regulations to implement such pure devotional principles, all this is not ordinary. This is the contribution of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is so kind that so this is one way they come to Vishnu, but there is one more, that people can simply do devotional service to Vishnu unknowingly and then go on accumulating this devotional sukruti, ajnana sukruti. And even that comes to a certain level, yes, then they will come in contact with Srila Prabhupada, contact with a pure devotee, and then practice further devotion in knowledge, and then attain perfection. Although these methods are there, once somebody asked Prabhupada, so we are able to meet you, is it because we all have done a lot of sukruti in our previous lives, and that's how we are now able to see you, able to meet you? Then Prabhupada says, no. It is because, Prabhupada says, it is because I have given you that sukruti. So this is a completely different phenomena. The Vedic phenomena, the gradual processes are there. There are many ways of, there is one more way in the upasana itself. Initially people start with nature worship. They start worshipping Durga. The material scientists are like worshippers of nature. And then gradually, after being nature worshippers for many lives, then they get attracted to worship of sun god. Here in our Basti we'll see, once in a year they come here, celebrate those celebrations, worshipping the sun. They burst firecrackers when they see the next day morning sun. But then sun is coming every day. So gradually they realize, they pick up some knowledge, and then they come to the next level, Ganapati. Then they come to Shiva. Then they come to Vishnu. So you can see these gradual processes are there, described. But what process that we all went through is not this process. This process is something different. Lord Chaitanya comes and he says, I don't care whether papi tapi yatachilo, whether you are a sinful man, you are a very pious sukruti, lot of sukruti is there, all that I don't care. Simply chant Hare Krishna. He has not placed any regulations of any consideration. He says you have a tongue, you have ears, chant Hare Krishna and hear. And then by doing that, Mahaprabhu has made the whole population pious, devotionally progress. And not only that, ultimately to attain the perfection of life, that is to receive love of God. So you can see it is simply a shortcut to the gradual processes that are to be seen. All those gradual processes are meant for managing the affection to this world. We are so attached to this world, to our families, to our jobs, to our accumulations and so many things were so attached. To manage all these things, there are so many different types of processes are there. But then Mahaprabhu says, simply chant Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada brought that message without any discrimination. How is it that is been given? Because Mahaprabhu said, Yara dekho tare ko Krishna upadesh. That is his mission. Whoever you see, you give Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. And then devotees are going all over. And they are not seeing whether he is a pious Brahmana or he is a fallen soul, nothing. They approach everybody. So you can see, transcending all the barriers of karma and then discriminations. Prabhupada as a representative of Mahaprabhu, he has given this process to everybody. And as soon as somebody chants, automatically he gets the transcendental knowledge, he gets interest of higher thinking. If he is intelligent enough to read or write or whatever, he can read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Many times people say, Prabhu, we are not able to understand Bhagavad Gita. So chant Hare Krishna. Nicely chant Hare Krishna. One day you will understand Bhagavad Gita. So that is it. Some people will say, no, we don't want to chant Hare Krishna. Okay, eat Krishna Prasad. Eating, one day you will say, Hare Krishna. Very nice. So much food. At least once he will say, Hare Krishna. So that is the kind of process. Extremely liberal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Nitai, and they are satisfied with all these simple things. Eating prasad, chanting Hare Krishna, all these things they are happy. And if they are satisfied, that's it. That's the final goal of all religions, to satisfy the Almighty Lord. And Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality. That's it. If he is satisfied, everything is done. All the perfection is there. So this is the miraculous, mysterious process of Krishna consciousness. Many times people will be surprised how such a big change can come so quickly. And what are they doing? Simply they are just chanting something and then going on eating some good prasad and then maybe a little bit of dancing. That's all. Yes, that is the process. That is the perfection. How that is perfection you want to understand? Yes, we have so many books. 80 books are there. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, CC, everything you read to understand how this chanting, dancing, honoring prasad is the ultimate goal of all these religious or spiritual principles. So, it's a completely, that's why once I think Madhupana Prabhu is saying, it is like a discount sales. Ordinarily to come to Krishna, it's a very big process, gradual process. But if Krishna decides, okay, chalo, owner decides, okay, chalo, lelo, discount. In this season, there is a 50% discount, like that we see, some boards is like that. In Kali Yuga, in the Pradama Pada, where Mahaprabhu appears, it's a big discount sale. One may be a biggest fool or a rascal, but still he will be delivered. And sometimes Mahaprabhu may be a little tough, but Nityananda Prabhu, he is even more. He identifies the rogues and rascals and rowdies and then delivers them like Jagamada. Now who will go to these people? So in this world, if there are still rowdies and rascals and rogues are there, that is because we have not spread Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So Prabhupada has done that. He has taken this moment to more highly complex Jagai Madhais and he has made them into Vaishnavas. As his representatives, we should try our best. Of course, straight away don't go to rowdies and rascals now. First, initially you preach to people who are innocent, and once you are empowered, you are blessed, you can target complex cases. this is the scenario. So we will see in the next shlokas Manu expressing his desires and praying to Kardama Muni. We'll stop here. Any questions? Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.